Obviously, it's a family day here at Forza. We don't want to take the chance of being outside in the wet grass and just completely eating it. So, family's here at Forza. This is my wife, Missy.
Hey guys.
Coaches our 10 locals, one of our 13 local teams, and assists me with our 12 Under Armour team. She is not a setter. Today we are going over back setting, so she'll do some stuff and I'll do some stuff, and then after our second session is we're going to do like just a setter specific workout. It won't be near as intense as Brittany and Ray's workout this morning, which was awesome. It almost made me get out of the chair and start doing it. But maybe tomorrow we'll start doing it. But that was great this morning. One thing I wanted to just say before we get into back setting specifically today, which will require a little bit of talk, but I just wanted all of you guys to know really how much I think the coaches are learning it every day more and more. I know we are, is just how much we miss you guys as players. It means a lot when you guys are watching and you're, there's little shout outs and hey coach and waves, and we know that you guys are doing the workouts, asking questions, things like that. Our 12s in particular are sending videos and things like that of them finding ways to be creative and at home and just in working. And it's like, I can't tell you how much better that's going to make you. This is in a lot of ways a gift in that you have to find a way to make yourself good. You have to be, my dad always has this term, which is be your own best coach. And took me a while to understand that, but this is a perfect time for that. So you kind of have to be your own best coach. We're here to support you and give you things to do and work on specific areas. A lot of content this week. We're sharing a little bit with our Temecula branch as well, our West branch, Pasadena. People are tuning in, so we get a lot of different people, and you're getting a lot of different feedback. With that being said, let's jump into back setting a little bit. Okay, so one of the things we're gonna do to start is we're gonna try to use different things. We're gonna use some wall stuff. Again, like Missy's not a setter, but I want her to demo some things so we can see. We were joking. I was like, well, you can demo it being wrong. But she's definitely going to demo some things that we could critique. I'll demo some things that might be a little cleaner, but I'm pretty rusty also. So we're just going to jump right into it because I think back setting was always my favorite set as a player, and I think it's such an important set for balance with what you're doing offensively. Okay. One of the things I just want to go here real quick. I'm not going to set up all, but we're just going to talk about the idea of back setting a little bit. And then we'll kind of do some stuff on the wall. We'll get back, do some partner stuff. This is all depending on what you have. It's just you and a wall. A lot of stuff that you can do. I did a little bit last week with how to incorporate the wall. Brittany did a whole session on it last week. But I want to just talk about back setting first, okay, before we do anything. Is the first thing you have to understand about a back set is it's a trick set. A lot of rules in volleyball come from what? Cheating. If you think about it. Why was the 10-foot line invented? Why did we put that in? Because everybody was just hitting everywhere. We had to do something to separate the back row hitters from the front row hitters. So we put this line in, and then what does everybody in the world do? They have back row attacks now. They're basically like cheating. And the idea is that you can jump behind it, but land and make contact way in front of it. Jump serves, how are they invented? Same idea. Well, I can't step on the line or over the line, but I can jump over it, right? Back setting is the same thing. I've seen old footage from like the 60s and stuff like that, where setters are literally just turning around and setting where they want to set. And you have to think about, okay, when back setting came about, what was the idea? Cheating, right? But one of the things that I see, or a lot of the things that I see with back setting, where setters kind of really fail, just the concept of it, is that we forget that idea that, hey, it's supposed to be a trick. You're supposed to be looking like you're setting one place and then setting someplace else. So we'll get into the technique of it, okay? But at the heart of it, if I just stand here, right? At the heart of it, it looks exactly like my front set. My thumbs are gonna be on the direct bottom of the ball. My wrists are gonna stay forward, okay? Just the pads of my fingers on the ball. And I think a lot of what happens with back setting is that we're overthinking the back element of it, right? So we start to see some of this stuff. My head goes back, my neck goes back, my back goes back, okay? My hands, I'll say this all the time, flat hands is a term that I use with setters that just means, hey, your wrists are already back. So at this point, they're not using their thumbs and they can't use their wrists. And this popping motion is really, really important for the back set. I use this, I'm always weird with like kind of analogies I'll use to get somebody to think the right way. And I had a setter, I can't remember who it was, but I do remember who it was. I won't say it though on camera. Just had really flat hands and had a really hard time with it. And the analogy I used, which is silly, but I said, think about you have a dartboard up where you would want to set. And I took a knife or a pin or something that could stick, and I was literally thinking about, I have to flick that up and get it to stick in the dartboard. Not back, but that's one of the things with a back set that happens all the time, is that we just think, okay, we just think back. And so what kind of sets do we get? Inside sets, tight sets, flat sets, right? And non-deceptive sets. So I'll be doing a Zoom session on Thursday. That's going to be all about isolating the block, and we'll use some of the best setters in the world as examples for that. But at the heart of this, okay, and start from my feet, Joe, is that you have to have your weight forward. Now this seems almost counter to what you would think, right? Is that I have my weight forward, and that's how I would set a front set, is here, weights forward. But this gives us a lot of leverage for our back set. Okay, so once I receive the ball, I can push from this step, and we should be in a slightly loaded position. If I'm straight-legged, my knees are locked, it's not going to help you at all. So you want to be in this little loaded position here, not really extended, just in a comfortable loaded position. And I almost think of it as like a little energy ball that starts from your feet and goes out through your hands. You have to think of it all coming from the bottom part and then out through your hands. We're going to get on the net here in a bit, but let's go to the wall real quick.
We have a question from Jocelyn L. Do we only have to back set D?
Back set a D? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm assuming, Jocelyn, correct me if this is wrong, but if you're back setting a D, that means that the setter is in the front row. And if you're running a 4-2, so a 4-2 means, we've got parents that are watching home who don't know what offenses mean and everything like that. A 4-2 means that your setter is setting from the front row only, okay? And it means that we have two setters, they're always setting from the front row. So your only back set would probably be a D, which is a back row attack. If you're running a 5-1 or a 6-2, where setters would be setting from the back row, then you'd be setting, and the name of the set doesn't really matter, but it would be like a 5 or a fly. Those are different speeds of back sets. If you're a front row setter and you're at a little bit higher level, where your middle's running a slide, that's a back set, or a back one is a back set. So it doesn't always have to be a D, but if you're at a little bit lower level, if you're playing at a 4-2, I've had really good younger teams that are in a 4-2, so I wouldn't even say lower level, but you're setting the back row, yeah, that might be your only back set. It really depends on the offense you're running. Great question. That's my first question in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you, Jocelyn. Okay, keep them coming now. All right, we're going to go to the wall. So we're gonna start here, and this is just kind of give you a little warm up here, okay? But just kind of a way that you can, keep yourself moving here a little bit. Get your hands warm, but get yourself all the way around. All we're working here, Missy, go ahead and do this, is just consistency with your hands. So the first thing we're gonna talk about with the back set, it's kind of what we already did, is like not really worry about like using your back. So you can't really use your back here. You can't if she puts her head back, she's gonna bang her head into the wall here. So this is something that you can do. Scoot back. So we want to try the one that we weren't very good at here. The one that you can't do. Okay, basically what she's gonna do here, and I don't want her to get super dizzy here, so depending, you can do this a lot of different ways, but she's gonna set to herself, and then she's gonna back set. If you need a couple sets, so go ahead and take a couple sets. So, because to do this at a high rate, you're gonna have to, you're gonna get dizzy a little bit, okay? This is always my trick thing, and when I do setting camps, when we do like wall setting to start, I always use this drill as kind of a meter for the setters that are in it to kind of see who's tough and who can kind of like see things as a challenge. Because most of the time you're gonna get in the drill like this, you'll get something like this. Oh, I caught it. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. Oh no. Because they just don't want to do it, the grind of like making it go. Do the little 360 sets, okay, until you get dizzy. Do 3 sets of those. Try to get 5 times around, because you get dizzy quick. So do 3 sets of 5, okay, all the way around. And then let's try to do this. And no. So Missy's question was, do you want me to rotate both ways? You're gonna naturally, as you're turning, rotate certain ways that are like comfortable and natural for you. When we're actually setting, there might be different ways, but they're also gonna be kind of like athletically comfortable, or at least that's the way we teach it, okay? So Missy, go ahead, and it's set as many times as you want to yourself to get yourself comfortable, okay? So with this, set a goal for yourself, make it a challenge. Try to get it going like 5 times or something like that. Again, you can kind of, don't set forever, but if you can get this where it's set, turn, back set, turn, back set, like you can do that, like that's great. If you could get 5 or 6 of those before you like fall down, that would probably be okay. She's gonna just get a set to herself a little bit. So we got different levels. There's the first one. Might mess up, that's okay. Keep it trying, it. Going hard version here. She couldn't do this one earlier. Yeah, don't smash your head into the wall. Okay. Go. Okay, so one of the things we can see with Missy is that her hands are getting really flat in this drill. This is just you thinking about the finish of the skill, So I call it completion of skill, which is like a lot of errors that come from when we're thinking about the end of the skill. So if I'm thinking about back set, your hands get back, you're losing all this pop, all this power that you would get. Okay, so that little drill, we can work on our back set. When we're doing all this stuff, don't use your back. Right now, just totally work on what you're doing with your hands. Don't try to create angles with it. We'll talk about that stuff later.
Is I using my back?
No, your hands are just flat.
Coach Brittany was cheering for you.
Aw, thanks, Britt. I need some Brittany lessons.
It's a Brittany workout, man.
Yeah,
Brittany was like working hard this morning, man. And she still came back every time, every break, and like answered questions. Okay, go. And it's like, I'd be dying. I'd be like, she did so good. Okay, so we're gonna do like a little partner thing here. And you might not have a partner, okay? So you'd just be doing this stuff on the wall. If you have a sibling, or this could be a parent. So why don't you just catch it and then just toss it back to me? So this could be a parent, and I could just here, turn, back set. I already know that was really good. I'm trying to be pretty straight up and down here. Here, straight. A little rusty, so I might be using my back a little too much. Okay, so set. And kind of watch my feet on this. I always see a lot of this where it's and it takes forever again. Try to see if you can challenge yourself. If you're beginning, you might feel like I have to have my hands up, but you're gonna move slower if you do that. Okay, so what we want is here, turn, So you see I'm always kind of bringing my hands down. My hands are staying prepped, okay? But I'm not like crazy keeping them up. Here, and go, okay? So if we have partners, that's something to do. Again, you can probably see I can feel myself already like leaning a little bit, okay? I would like to get around and get weight on it, so like I'm not using any back or anything right now. You're going to, we're gonna get to that. Okay, let's see, let's go on the net here. And again, this could be a wall, it could be a string. We've got a couple minutes left here. That's fine. You wanna make sure, I'm gonna do the exact same thing here, is just have weight forward here. So, partner, okay, and I let that ball get behind me. So I'm trying not to use anything. I might use it a little bit. Questions in here, pretty straight. Not really worried about the footwork right now. I don't want to be in this position. I don't want to be in this position on back set. I want to make sure I'm getting all the way around. Because if I'm here, even if I'm here, and I go directly behind me, it's tight or it's over. And tight sets, my 16s setters, if you guys are watching, you know how important, in a bad way, tight sets are to me, okay? But the difference between here, catch it, that's gonna be a tight set. That's gonna be fine, okay? But it's like literally just inches here with the difference. Okay, now we can talk about angles a little bit more for power. What we don't want is a lot of back. Okay, this is always hard, especially for female setters. Your curve is a little, your spine's a little more curved than a male. And so it can be really easy to go right into your back. Kind of a more traditional way to do it would be tossing, using my hips a little bit more. Okay, so my hips come forward right on contact, not before. I'm creating a line that I'm going to set through. And I don't have to receive the ball behind me to do that. So
You used to teach a lot.
I used to teach that, and it's harder to teach because most kids your guys' age don't have good hip flexibility. Okay, I can kind of pop my hips out in front and create a line. A lot of kids can't, and they try to do it. The core's not strong enough. They don't have enough flexibility there, so they go right into their back. You might not feel your back, but if you feel your chest or your stomach sticking out, or your head is really far back, okay, that's hard. So the next stage would be one of the things we teach to kind of negate that is a little bit of a rotation here, okay, which is just follow through. I'm not doing this. I might do that. It's a different type of set though, okay? I'm trying to stay forward and just use the rotation as a follow through, okay? And so what this allows me to do, I have to have good flexibility here, and I don't have to use my back. It's follow through. Okay.
So at what point are you rotating back to the net?
Right when I set. So the back set comes from the hands first. Notice my arms here too. I'm not going to do anything with this, but notice my back setting. My arms don't have to go back. It is 80% of what you're doing, maybe more than that, is coming from your thumbs and your wrists. You're popping it back. Okay. So it's this, leaning back, or flat hands, like that. That's not gonna help you with power. It will feel like it does, but it's really not happening. You need your weight forward so you can pop back.
Coach, you have 3 questions.
3 questions, all right.
Coach Kyle, what are some ways you set a back set on a tight pass? This is the first question.
Okay, that's an awesome question. Actually, we can go over a little bit here.
This is good for the younger age.
Yeah, this is super good. So if you're running a 6'2" in your back row setter, you can't dump, right? So I call this a mock side set. It's not a full side set. If I'm full side setting, okay, my release is going to be uneven. So I want my elbow, my shoulder parallel to the net. And if I do that, this can be a front set also. My release is pretty even, right? And I'm not going to net. So if it's a tight ball and I'm doing this, obviously it's play over, right? So if I'm jump setting or whatever, I'm right here, but I'm not full side setting here where the release is going to be different. Okay, so this is called a mock side set, and literally just want the elbows and shoulder parallel to the net. It's a great question. What's our other ones?
All right, this is a two-part question from Coach TK.
Oh,
And hard for younger setters as well, correct? So how do we keep that straight athletic posture with less strength for younger kiddos? Does the rotation help?
Your core strength. So I think that's an awesome question. Is your core strength is a lot of it, right? So the younger players aren't going to have great core strength. So you're going to see you're going to see it mostly in their back. They're going to mostly break here, and they might do it on a front set. It might be this, right? Because they're just no one's lower back is strong. Like all of you guys at home, you do sit-ups a bunch. Your front side is way more important to you than your back side. You know what I mean? The lower back. Who does lower back workouts? Like nobody, right? So especially younger players, if you have a little bit more of a curved spine and you're weak in your core and the back part of it, you're gonna break a lot. A little trick for you guys at home, especially if you're weaker, is tighten your abs. It seems opposite, but if you tighten your abs, you'll kind of align your core. Okay, don't hold your breath because like your breath is important. Like you want to breathe out just like when you're hitting or whatever, but tighten your abs and it kind of keeps everything in line. So it's a little trick. The rotation I think is beneficial for the younger player. You just have to realize it's not early. So I'm not doing that because if those sets are going to come off the net, or if I'm using my back and I rotate, the set's always going to come off the net, right? So that's some core stuff too. So if I just keep it tighten my abs here, it's a lot easier to kind of keep myself in alignment. Here as you're practicing it, don't hold your breath again. Be able to try kind of breathe, just flex your abs, and it should keep everything a little bit tighter. Any other questions? We're good? Okay. All right, guys, hang in there. We're gonna do, you won't see Coach Morgan doing too many fitness videos, but this is one. Okay, so we come back in a little bit here. We're gonna do just some setter specific workouts. This is literally stuff, you don't need to go to a gym. We're in a gym, but this will all be stuff that you can just literally just do all the time. I'll talk about when we come back, but awesome job.
Ooh, I did so much.
Coberly's in here, grinding away. Again, reach out to your coaches, say hi, say I love you, say I miss you. All right, there's my daughter crying. So we'll see you in a bit.